Hello everybody, this is another set of tutorials based on the assignment number 2, which is 2 floor slabs. I will construct one, I will copy it, put it vertically on top of the other one, and then connect the 2 floors with 3 columns that branch into 3 sub-columns. Then there will be 3 holes in the top floor. Okay, let's start. The first thing we're going to do is go to display and to window, setting preference, and preference, to go to settings and change the working units to foot. Save, and as you can see the grid has changed immediately, so now it's actually set to foot. What we're going to do now is create a primitive box, and we're gonna, as you remember, if we press X momentaneously, we activate the snapping to the grid. X, X, X. By pressing Z, we activate the snapping to curves, and by pressing V, we snap to points of the object. So if we press X and we start dragging the box from the center, you see we can start snapping to the grid points. By pressing Control at the same time as we press X and we drag, we're creating a symmetrical base of a box. So I put it here and then I raise it a specific random amount, and now this is my box. If you remember, we can press 5 to shade it, and we can actually go and move it by pressing W or E to rotate and R to scale. So if we press W to move, we can actually move it vertically. That's by pressing on the vertical arrow. Another thing we can do is by pressing, here is the channel box in layer editor. If we press Control A, we will go to what is called the attribute editor, and we're going to be able to press on polycube and change the height, width, and so I want to change the height to 0.75, and now I'm going to try, actually let's go back to channel so we have more space by pressing Control A. I want to actually lower this exactly to the grid position. So the first thing we need to know is how to move the gizmo itself without moving the object. Control C. If we press D, you see the gizmo changes. D, that allows us actually to move the gizmo wherever we want. Now if we press D and V, as you can see, it activates the attraction snapping to the points. Now we're going to be able to not only move the gizmo but actually snap it to all the points of this object. Let's put it here. Now I want to actually move the object freely vertically, but actually I want to snap to the grid. So I want to move it vertically and press X to snap it momentaneously to the grid, as I said before, and we move it and we put it to the grid exactly. Now we can start remembering what 1, 2, and 3 options were. We're in 1 as in visualization. If we press 3, it kind of generates the relaxing shape or solid for that box. 2 will be showing the original 1 box at the same time as the relaxing. So we need to actually reshape this so it actually fits with this box, but it has a little curvy edges in the side. So let's press 1 and start actually creating what is called edges, loop edges. We go to Edit Mesh, we say Insert Edge Loop tool, and we create, and we start actually inserting, as I mentioned several times in class, edges loop. Now by doing this and pressing 3, you can see what it's doing is pretty much like concentrating the relaxedness into those lines. Let's go back to 1 and do the same thing for the other corners. Let's do 2 of them as well in the vertical subdivision. Now if you press 3, it is relaxed, but it's relaxed in a way that is very controlled in relationship to the box. If we press Q, we make this insert edge loop disappear, and we can right click and access all the components of that object. As remember, let's go to object mode and press the object. So that will be our object now. As remember, we can actually Control D to copy it, press W, and we have an option as well to put the gizmo in the center, but it's going to modify and say center pivot. Good. Now we can move it vertically, for example, in exact way. If we see that translation y is 0.375, we can actually just add to the translation y, because it's the vertical in Maya, 9 feet height. So that gives us two floor slabs that afterwards in the next little tutorial we're gonna connect with different columns.